beautiful.
Hey. Greetings, everyone. I hope all is well. Once again, welcome back to my channel. And today, guess what? We have our special guest, Dr. Wanda. Welcome, Dr. Wanda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm always excited to be your guest. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
We had to kind of do some little coordinating to make this happen.
Right.
So
yes,
that's
ma'am.
good. That's good stuff. That's awesome sauce.
Yes. So today we're having a chat with Dr. Wanda, and the chat is the Dr. Wanda's ambassador report. Okay, of all the things that she had done.
You're gonna excuse me one time.
Yeah, all the things that she had done
Hello?
while she was here in Ghana. So that's what the Dr. Wanda's ambassador's report is. Okay, so this we're doing this because she's getting ready to leave today to head back to the States.
I am leaving today. In fact, that was my husband interrupting this interview because he went and picked up just a couple of more things that I was missing. He's been a sweetheart. But yes, I'm going back to the States. Temporarily, I would add. The goal is not to be gone longer than 5 months. This was a lot of sorts kind of a test run to see if about living here and transitioning here. I put my daughter, my 9-year-old daughter in school. So to see how all of that will work, and we are painfully leaving.
Yes,
We're having a very hard time leaving today. Yeah, and we literally leave today. So
Hey, y'all. This girl has been my confidant. She has been my backbone here in Ghana. She has been my counselor. Okay, I've been like on her shoulders, straight up.
Good people take care of other good people.
Yes, absolutely. So, oh my God, when she leaves, well, I'll see. I'll manage, and I'll hold on till she come back. Okay, straight up.
Yeah, you got to. You got to, because the thing is, you're here for a reason, and so we know we always put purpose over any kind of pain or frustration.
Yes.
And then you have so much to offer. Ghana, especially as you maneuver through the various townships and villages and municipalities, you hate to extract that.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got to man up. You got to man up.
Yes. So Dr. Wanda, you coming here to Ghana. What brought you here to Ghana this time?
Well, what brought me here to Ghana, quite honestly, was back in February 2019. I got married because up until meeting my husband, most of my work had been East Africa, specifically Uganda and Tanzania.
Yes, ma'am.
And I initially launched what I consider my Abrahamic experience in South Africa. So I felt a call to come back to the land that God had promised me to leave my country and come to an unknown country, and to bless the people who bless me, and with an understanding, in that Abrahamic experience, God tells him, you're going to bless people, and I'm going to bless them, and the ones that curse you, I'm going to curse them. So I knew I was moving in a pretty protective covenant. And then also the final part is, that you would be a part of nation building, that you would be a part of foundation building. So I'm not so much attached to the concept of the year of return. Matter of fact, I'm not attached to that at all. And more so, this has always been my Abrahamic experience. So, my husband was a monkey wrench in the experience of it, because I didn't expect to come to West Africa. I knew various West Africans, and they had asked me over the course of time, I have no business there, and so I put no effort there. And then lo and behold, somebody done caught me, but also God make a lie out of you.
Hey.
So I ended up meeting him, and I came, and it was only 7 days that I was here initially.
Yes.
But I always come with the mindset of, I pack something in my suitcases to give. I'm an education specialist. I'm an academic. I've done a long history of outreach in the States, because I come from urban settings, and there's always needs there. And so I came giving, with the right hand of friendship extended, and I ended up going to his village. And afterwards, I couldn't believe I was opening my mouth to say I was going to adopt Lilonia School.
Yes.
But I did, and I've been faithful to that. So that got me here. That had me. So it was two things hooking me: him, and then I ended up with some God work.
Yes. Wow. Beautiful. Yes, ma'am. So now, after that he got you. He
Right.
got your hood, right?
Mm.
And your heart done got here
Mm.
in Ghana.
Mm.
Planted here in Ghana.
Mm.
Since you've been here, when you came back, okay, your husband, coming back to Ghana, what did you bring back with you?
Well, it was once I started sort of messing around with Lolonia, and people saw I was putting energy on West Africa. The way any of this stuff works is other Africans will reach out to you and say, what about this, or they'll share different things that's going on. But I had a woman in the States who was a nurse, long time ago. She came, powerhouse, resume and everything. So she had always wanted to come to Africa. And I really am a loner. I partner with anybody, but I'm really very much a loner. I don't really need anybody to roll with me. I'm not that woman that necessarily even has a best friend, because a lot of times when you're a woman leader, you're not well liked. Women leaders tend to be decisive.
Yes.
They know what they want. They know how they want it. These are all, masculine characteristics that society sees them. I don't see it that way. I see them as leadership characteristics. But nonetheless, people get offended by it. So I really didn't want that. So I said, listen, why don't we do something where you can shine, you can stand in your own light, and I can shine in mine. I'm education all day long, teaching all day long. It comes natural to me. And so because she was a nurse practitioner, ran her own mobile nursing unit, I said, let's do this. The doctor and the nurse go to Ghana, have a health fair in Lolonia. They had never had one. They don't have a clinic. There's definitely a need for it. And she said yes. So we started working on this campaign, and actually what ended up happening was it was more me than her. So once you get stuff once you have these visions and you get started, you have to make a decision about whether you're going to abandon it or not. And I was determined not to abandon the vision. I still saw the work as valuable, the need as plentiful. So I said, no, the need is there. So I padded myself and made some friendships with some of the medical team here. So I had several Ghanaian nurses, 2 doctors, 2 practitioners lined up to support me. Now, they was really technically supposed to be supporting her, but just in case, once you put your name in it, and I put out this flyer, and the community was excited, I said, no matter how this plays out, I have to have a health fair. So that became, besides returning to my husband, that became the focal point of coming here. The health fair, and thus started the health fair and the tour. Because once I announced the health fair, different people shared different issues, and so I decided to visit those places in the week preceding the health fair. That's the tour, and then we would culminate with the health fair.
Yes, ma'am. Putting your own money into this?
It's that's part of being a woman leader, and that's part of being a loner. I don't work with any churches. I don't work with any charitable organizations, because they've gotten into the business of charity. And so, I have to fundraise on my own, and I think that it sort of comes from Black tradition, where we've done everything from sold dinners to car washes to done garage sales and yard sales, whatever we needed to do to raise money to bring things to life prior to us beginning to take money from government.
Right.
And also from going after these corporate grants. And listen, and I'm not against that. If you want to do that and that's what you like, do it. But they do have stipulations, and they do have rules, and they do expect you to say and not say things, and you do owe them something. And see, the way I do it is, you take my money, you take my mouth, and once it's over with, it's over with. When my pot is empty, it's empty. So.
Excuse me, sorry to cut you off. Can you explain to them, you take my money, you take my mouth?
Well, what I mean is, you have to accept that I have a vision. You're going to take my ideas. I want it a certain way. We're a country that always celebrates these white male moguls. Oh, Steve Jobs. He built it. He dropped out of school and was in his garage making computers. And the reality is that the original inventors are us. We've always been on shoestring budgets and building stuff from scratch, and not necessarily knowing where the next resource is going to come from. And so what I've learned is, as people talk about angels, You know, I don't always have like-minded people with me, but they actually exist.
Yes.
So as I'm working on things,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, these beautiful earth angels will step forward and say, "Hey, I like your vision. I'm willing to dig in my pocket for it. Well, I ain't got no money, but I can give you this material, or I don't have no money, but I have a person I can link you with that can assist you."
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it is wisdom, sometimes it is finance, sometimes it is material objects, but you know, God assembles His team, and he don't need me not to see the vision through. So that's what I mean. So to do that, then that means you have to take my vision on it. When I say I don't want these people's money, when I say we're not going over there, we're not doing it that way, you have to respect that. Now I am a team, you know, I will work with the team,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, like any good leader, your name is on it, your face is on it.
Mm-hmm.
You better make some decisions
Right.
and be okay about it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. So you take my money, you take my mouth.
You gonna listen to what
I like. Given that health fair, how did it turn out?
The health fair was amazing, and what I did was I spent the 6 or 7 months before I returned back putting together what I considered medical blessing bags.
Mm-hmm.
And so what was in the bags was things that filled the gap. So you know, temperature strips, where so if you don't have a thermometer, you can put the strip on and take the temperature. Liquid Band-Aid, you know, you can simply close up a wound. Hand sanitizer. There's all these sanitation issues here. It was all that type of stuff. The little toothpicks with the bristles, so that because a lot of our health is in the mouth. It goes down to that digestive tract.
Right,
so
right,
it was all of that, and I made a commitment of at least 5 of those items being in each bag and given to the people. But we had like 270 people show up.
Wow.
I raised enough money to give them the hepatitis B, because if we was in October, that's their season, and you know that hepatitis B wear down that liver.
That's true.
And then it's, you know, if you don't know you got it, you can give it to somebody else. So because it is sexually transmitted too. But yeah, we was able to give them the shot.
I just learned something here.
Yeah,
Go ahead, girl.
I was able to get have them screened for malaria, for HPV. So all of that was fundraising I did before I got here, and you know, my thing was I just shoot for 50 to 100 people. Some people are like, oh, we're gonna have thousands of people. I said, I don't care if 1,000 people show up or not. I'm telling you, we're gonna be able to service 50. That's it, because your budget is your budget.
Right.
This is grassroots stuff. This ain't corporate.
Right.
Yeah, you know, that's what over here trying to vaccinate these people so they can control population. This is just, you know, old fashioned. Let's start it and keep it going. If you stay up, you don't have to catch up.
Right.
Yeah. That's it. So it was that. But the biggest thing we learned, because Lalonia is a salt harvesting community. That's what they have a history of.
Right.
And we learned that 80% of the community had high blood pressure.
Wow.
So, and their stuff was in the tubes. It was high. And they didn't know. They was walking around preparing to stroke out. And so some of them that showed up had actually had strokes. And so now when I come back next time, because I do want the health fair to be at least 3 years in a row, I said, now I know where to target, because I know that we need to give them all the sort of medicinal stuff that helps lower blood pressure.
Right.
You know, natural stuff.
Yeah.
The garlic bitters, the hibiscus tea, you know what I'm saying? All this type of stuff that can just naturally take down their blood pressure.
Right.
Cucumber water. All of these things are ways to, you know, apple cider vinegar.
Yeah,
actually, a capful of apple cider vinegar,
that's
drop
what I
it.
use with garlic.
Yeah, so that would be the goal next time. And so they were really grateful to learn that. They liked the blessing blend. They liked that the team was there and that they were able to get their vaccinations and know what was wrong with them. So yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
An academic doing a health fair. I had no business doing a health fair, but my nurse backed out. She fell out the game. She did not stand the test of time.
Now let's talk about that. The character of some of us Americans, Black Americans coming over here to Africa, the mentality. Why did she fall out?
Well,
When she got here?
there's this attitude that Africa is supposed to be a hot version of America, when in fact it's Africa. So it is the best and the worst of both worlds. It has the pendulum literally swings both ways. You can come here and find a palaces, and then you could come here and find just poverty on a level that's hard to process. Ghana is in terms of this continent, which is 54 sovereign nations. Okay, 3 United States literally fits into the continent, so it's ginormous.
Yes.
Ghana falls somewhere in the middle of that. It is far more advanced than many nations that you would expect. So that's why you can get here and you can have your cell phone and find a refrigerator, and there is, there's a lot of working things here, but it still is it's still part of a collective of underdeveloped nations. So
that's true.
She just went into shock.
Culture shock.
Yeah, and it was really this Negro-ish type shock. Where's my Wi-Fi? Where's my towel and washcloth? I'm leaving here. I want to be here. I need to go to a hotel that has air conditioning. It's like, look, I grew up when we was all sitting in front of the fan. When we used to talk, we were all sitting in front of the fan, and we were talking to the fan, and the fan would give us that sound back. Everybody went to church, and they had that fan with Martin Luther King on the fan. Yeah, because the church didn't even have air conditioning. Like, I just don't like when you're in these older age groups, meaning that you post 60, 1960 or post 65, 60. I was born 67, and you knew, you need all these amenities, and you can't make it, and and I get that some of us have health issues and this and that, but that's called good homework. You should know where you're coming before you come and make a decision. And there's also this comparison thing between underdeveloped nations like Jamaica, where it's been turned into a tourist spot.
Right.
So, there's enough whites that go and others that go where, there are spots that are really, really posh. But Africa's not like that. It's never been turned into a tourist thing. The whole thing has been the Europeans come and deplete it, and they discourage you from even coming over here. But it's more rich in resource than all of the other continents.
That's right.
In fact, the other continents depend on Africa to sustain themselves.
That's right.
Everything comes out of this continent,
including the United States.
Yes.
Depends on this place.
In fact, Livonia sustains gives. I think it's like 70% of the salt
The
sea salt that comes to the U.S. comes out of that salt harvesting village.
here in Ghana.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That was some of the good research, some of the stuff I
70%, somewhere said 60 something to 70% of the salt
it's high.
we get from that we get in the United States comes from Ghana, Livonia in particular, from this country.
Yeah, well, Ghana is referenced when they're talking about, you will be the salt of the earth, and there's various references to salt in the Bible. It's actually biblically referring to Ghana. Yeah.
Wow, y'all hear that?
Because it was, it was white gold. It was lots of places didn't have it, and so it was something that they traded before, they decided to make money.
Right. Yeah. Wow, awesome. I just learned something again, you guys. Yeah. This is educational with the doctor. Absolutely. The chat with the doctor. You're learning. Yes, ma'am. Now, so I just want us to be mindful, those who are traveling here to Ghana in the future, don't romanticize coming to Africa. Like the young lady she was just speaking of, and she got a shock of her life. Okay, do the research.
Although, listen, her people come out of Mississippi, so I don't even like the shock of the life. It's poor, and it's not just poor, it's pitiful. Even after all this time, they were a state that really faced a lot of, tyranny and trauma through racism. So you can still find whole outhouses.
Mississippi Delta.
Yeah, it's just it has intense poverty. So I don't know how you go back for family reunions and drive through that state and completely branded.
They're still using bathrooms outside through there.
Yeah, but they're not doing that in Detroit, Michigan, where I come from,
Right.
or Chicago. They damn sure ain't doing it in California.
That's true.
Well, suspect not because of homelessness, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Mississippi Delta, they are stuck by. They're back in the 18th century.
Yes. So
they stuck back in time.
I couldn't believe, and that was part of the reason I was excited with partnering with her. Was I said, okay, she's a Southern girl, so Southerners tend to have great memories of what you did when you had to do without.
Right.
Whereas city folks, for some reason they like to play like they don't remember, but the price was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because there's communities in the cities, but there's nothing like that Southern experience because you also have that racist attack, that racist restriction that just seemed like it intensified. Yeah.
And that should prepare them, people coming from the South, to be able to, deal with being here in Ghana, in Africa.
Yeah, it should, but also just in general, there should be less romanticism, as you phrased it, and more curiosity. Like you have to come in a curious spirit to know, to want to know what exactly is Africa. Why are we here? What is the motherland? How can I survive it? What can I bring to it?
Yes.
As opposed to just assuming that it's going to be like, say, the Caribbean, where there's been a lot of action on tourism that just hasn't happened here.
Absolutely. Wow. Now, the other projects. Okay, you did the health fair.
Yes.
Right. Got through that. All completed. So that was a 2-part.
No, the health fair was a one-day extravaganza that started at about 8 in the morning, and we completed everything. Maybe it had broke down everything about 6. It was an all-dayer. But the tour started with that Monday morning with me going to visit a school called Akusi, where I had done research with them about malaria, ways to protect themselves from malaria, from what they needed to do for mosquitoes, and it was holistic. So you're looking at larvae, how to kill the larvae, you're looking at catching them, what to do with the dogs, what you can put a topical on yourself, the making of anti-mosquito jewelry. It was all inclusive, so it was that. There was a day that I went to visit the School of the Deaf, where I had learned that the youth were getting struck by cars, and I had contacted, when they contacted me, I said, do you have any signage? And so I just went on eBay and got 2 big old, neon yellow signs that they could post and say, be careful, deaf students are walking this route. You'd be surprised how something as simple as that hadn't just been thought of.
Wow.
And the people at the school cared about them. They just hadn't thought to do that.
Right.
It was, so it was different stops. I started with Lilonia. I had been collecting a whole bunch of Afrocentric books, just books on Black people, Black things, Black issues, Black images, Black writers. And so I opened up their library. The library got launched.
Wait a minute.
Your screen is frozen.
My screen is frozen, but I don't know if the live is still going. I see the counter going up.
Well, then you just keep talking.
Okay. Guys, the screen is frozen. I don't know if it's still live or what, but anyway, we're going to keep this live going on.
Okay, so yeah, it was the launching of the library, and I took care of the teachers, and each teacher got a tablet. I had collected tablets over the.
Thank you. Just a second.
Okay. I had collected tablets because everything in America is best thing. So I just spent my year, like I say, okay, every check, $20, I would put it aside, and I would get a tablet. I only get the ones that are used, gently used, or the ones that where somebody said, "Oh, I bought it for my kid. He never looked at it."
Right.
Yeah. So I blessed that school with their tablets, and I had run a contest at the school, a robotics contest. So I had promised them their prizes, and I had collected $100 to launch their STEM program, so they could keep the robotics going. Because the reality is, that's where we're going. We're going towards technology, towards STEM, and we need to be in that. We need to not that we should cancel out any of the standard instruction, but we definitely should keep our kids in the race.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we should keep them in the race. So that's what we're doing.
So, can you talk a little bit more about the tour?
So that was the tour. It was the responding to based off of what I felt like, because I'm solutions driven. If I can't solve, I don't get involved in it, and I'll tell you that. Like, I'm sorry that you're having this problem, and I wish you great success, whatever. But if I can't solve, or if I can't link you to someone to solve, I take my hands off of it, because then I just see it as like it's not my assignment.
Yes.
And so the week was a tour of my own assignment. I went out to the final spot was out to Kumasi, because I had been reached out to about an orphanage there, and I always get children's things, children's manipulative clothes, this type of stuff. And so he gave me a list of the things that he wanted. A lot of it fell into academics, some of it fell into sort of outreach, and I put a really nice package together, care kit, but also grounded with some hygienic stuff, things for your teeth, your hands, cleanliness, that whole. Yeah, that was the tour. So the tour was amazing because it fit me throughout Ghana.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can honestly say I've seen a big chunk of the terrain. So the only place I've been in Ghana is north.
Yes.
So that's where shea butter is made.
Right.
Yeah. I haven't been no north. But every other spot I've been to some of the major spots.
Yes, ma'am.
And listen, by bus, by trotro. By taxi, yeah.
She's serious, you guys. Serious. Okay, you heard how she got around.
Yeah.
Straight up. She wasn't being biased or prejudiced or uppity and nose all up in the air about her transportation, getting around here to do things here for God to bless this place. Straight up. Okay. Now that's what I wanted you to speak a little bit more on of the different things that you spoke on some of the things, like the health fair,
well, that just was supposed to end November 3rd, but the tour never stopped.
Is things still going on right now as we speak? Yes.
Well, today, no. Finally, I've done nothing.
Well, but there's some things still in the working that they, we have to stay on top of.
Yeah.
Toilets.
That's just the biodigested toilets, such as more water tanks. I've gotten 2 people that want to buy water tanks.
Okay, right on.
They want in on that industry. I'm very excited about that.
Yes. So look at the business opportunity. Can you talk about that?
Well, I mean, I can talk about it, but the business opportunities are massive in Africa, okay, throughout the continent. But it's no sense getting in business if you're not going to have a humanitarian perspective on business. This is a place where, and I've seen this with many of us, I'm going to go to Africa and find a job. No, you're not. This is not a place that you come looking for a job. You come with a vision to create something where you employment, a lot of job uncertainty on the continent. But what it has that the other places don't have is that, one, you get the right to be a pioneer here, and you sit with other Africans and you have a vision on something, and you want to start something. When I'm in America, it's the conversation starts with, this can't happen, but we'll need this, whereas here it's like, let's do it. Right. If you could assemble a trusted team, pretty much anything that you like to do, you can make happen. And the other thing is, you already have the natives are like, if you don't have to come and train them how to farm, train them how to fish, train them how to weave, train them how to sew. They already know how to do that. You just have to have a vision for how you would like to work those team of experts, and that's essentially what they are, because many of these tools have been passed down to them generationally. Right. The mother, the grandmother, the great, so they're not looking for you to train them. Now, does that mean you can't tell them some tips, some suggestions? Absolutely, and you should, because you've been exposed to the West. Right. So you know some tips, some strategies, some methodologies that they don't know. But if you're coming in with that mentality, like, you're just brown.
It's brown.
You just brown, yeah.
Yes,
That's it. But it makes you have, sort of a colonizing mindset.
Yes, ma'am. Wow. Hey, so what business have you started in Africa, period?
Well, the business I'm most proud of is my microfinance company that I started in Tanzania, and that's really the only business that I can say that's like really has legs. It's really thriving.
Yes.
I have an amazing partner. I call him my right hand. I can trust him with a pot of gold. And he's good with money. His English is good. His Swahili is even better. He understands his countryman, but he also is a God-fearing man. So it's just some stuff he's not going to do because it goes against his moral fiber. So I'm absolutely blessed to have him. And but we also are meeting the needs of that community because after they met me, because they met me through academic supplies and books and all that stuff. But then you start getting the problems. Doctor, I'm trying to. I lost a relative. I want to go to the funeral. I don't have the travel fund. Doctor, I got malaria, but I didn't have the money for the medication.
Right.
It was all this baby money. Like I said, well, how much is that going to cost? I said, this many shillings. Well, and I put it in the converter, and it's like $20. I put it like, this is baby money.
Right.
Yeah. They really don't want to ask me for this. Is that they're in such dire need that they're asking? But these are working professionals. They're educators.
What?
So I decided. I said, you know what? I don't want them asking me because I'm in my own poverty in the U.S. I got my own family, my own issues. Let me put something in place where when they need to do that borrow, because most of us need to borrow like 10, 20, 50, 100, it's small money just to patch us over. That was my mindset with the microfinance. And then I wanted it to be, I wanted to undercut what was happening there because I learned that the continent is full of predator lenders. So they have those interest rates at 30, 40, 50%.
Yes, ma'am.
Which means if you make a mistake, they can come take asset. They can come they beat them down.
Man.
So I had my team do environmental, see how much was the going rate for the microfinance from registered companies. And on the island, the lowest they could find was our company will start at 15%.
Okay.
When you pay back the first loan, it drops to 12%. When you pay back the third loan, it drops to 10%, and then you're grandfathered in. Loans only stay out 30 days. You get a month to pay me back. If you show yourself to be a good steward 3 months, then what happens is you get to keep the loan 2 months instead of 1 month. So even that gives you some relief.
Yes,
and so
absolutely.
that if I could, if there's one industry I want to multiples of myself, it's my microfinance, and particularly because with that, those are educators that are primarily men. But I'm meeting these amazing women entrepreneurs.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but they don't have capital, and sometimes they only need like enough to just get launched.
Right.
Yeah, and it's little stuff like, okay, you got the stuff you're selling, but you don't have the umbrella to keep the sun off you to be able to sit out there as long as you should.
Right.
Or you don't have all transport to go get your vegetation and have it with you. So you understand it's all this just little stuff that keeps the industry flowing in. So I would love to be able to support some women with a microfinance company too.
Wow.
I have juicing that I'm doing here in Ghana with my husband that is still on his I would say baby. It's it's still a toddler.
Yes.
But I have great hope with it now because we finally registered it, and me being here is giving him a greater vision.
Yes.
But that one I want to see move along a little faster. So I feel like my being here has been beautiful because we've had a chance to, exist in coupleship.
Right.
But it's hurt us in that it's also a distraction. Okay, because I don't run juice. I can, back you and finance you, but I stay in my lane. I'm not the juice girl.
Right.
I drink juice, but I don't process juice.
Right.
And then I have Wanda pads. Now Wanda pads is my baby. It is a reusable pad for your menses. Because a big chunk of girls lose time in school because they don't have a menstrual pad.
Right.
And I don't like that. I don't understand why you have to miss school. And so part of it is if like for example, East Africa, the average income is $3 a day.
Wow.
But the pads may cost $1. So you can see if you make it $3 a day and you got to pull $1 off that, that's a lot of money.
It sure is.
Yeah. So I wanted something where it would be hygienic. So it's wash in cold water, put it in the sun, put it to sun dry, and then you can wear it again. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank stuff that touched my heart that the Lord massages my heart with, because it's a lot of beautiful things that people do that I have no interest in.
This sister is trailblazing here, y'all. Straight up.
Husband lovingly calls everything Wanda, and in fact, I rejected it. I didn't want it to be. I said, "Oh, that's just seem obnoxious, Wanda land. I don't want to be telling people." He was like, "No, every place you land, you a blessing." And I thought, wow, he's right. I said, it's a terrific name. Yeah, so everything is Wonderland. It's Wonderland Linden, or Wandy Pads, Wonderland's Juicing. Everything is Wonderland.
Yes, ma'am. Now we got Wonderland Skate Park.
Wonderland Skate Park. I got them out there skating on what? Yeah. Because I feel like they act like everything with Africa. Give them old shoes. Give them your. Why can't you give them fun? They like to have fun.
Right on.
Yeah, give them something that's fun and fresh that they wouldn't necessarily, And I remember being a poor kid in the hood.
Yes, ma'am.
And we hated when they kicked us. Like, y'all go on and play with that. No, we want to play with that.
Yes.
Yeah. We had like, no, don't give us that. We want that. Why we can't have that? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Wow, I feel you on that.
Yeah. Don't give me your leftovers.
And she's doing it, you all. She's out here.
I believe in waiting on the government. I don't believe in waiting on churches and organizations. I believe that you're supposed to look up and say, what in the space I'm standing in, and that your one contribution is enough. That's all you can do. Sweep, give rides, cook, because that's what we was doing in the Black community. Let me say this, Yolanda, being here in Ghana, separate from the other 3 nations I've been, is the first time in a long time I appreciated American Black.
Wow.
I came here feeling like, oh, Africa, 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 but now I really appreciate being an American Black.
And tell us why.
Because it's slavery. There's no income lower than slavery.
Right.
You're free. Your whole person is owned by somebody else.
Right, that's true.
And for you to come out of that, you have to really know how to love and help each other. And so let's take our lens off this 21st century and what's happening in urban settings now, and go back to coming out of slaveocracy. And that's one thing I don't like about Ghana, is that I feel like they don't help each other enough. That they actually, even in the individual households or huts or whatever, they have things that can help the neighbor, that can help one another, and they don't. They hoard resource, and and I understand. Like, it's like, let me just take care of my little spot, my little family, but they don't have that larger lens that, by taking care of my brother, by being my brother's keeper, I take care of the whole community. I lift us all up. And so I just really, even when I was going through Black History Month and putting a different post up, looking at how many of us sacrifice everything from our car, giving people rides, food. If you have, we didn't throw any food away. If you have food, you go down there to and give this to them. You have extra bread. Get the kids. You say, come on, y'all, come over here and eat these hot dogs and so. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, the understanding was, yeah, we all gotta eat. Don't nobody like us. Don't nobody want us. But we gonna take it ourselves.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's my only. That's my biggest beef with God, is that I want to see them actually not be so competitive. Resource, not always undercut each other.
Right.
Oh, well, you can use this person. Well, if I was you, I wouldn't get that for that person. Why do you have an opinion about my pocketbook?
Right, exactly.
How you gonna tell me who to give my gift? Even I had to just recently correct my husband. The chief wants my toilet, right? He wants my portable toilet. So I'm giving the chief my portable toilet, okay? But then he says, we're gonna take your and I'm gonna take your basin, because I got the hand washing basin. And he already identified somebody he gonna give it to. I said, how you giving something that I got on the plane with? How do you where in your mind did you get ownership of that? And he had to look at me and adjust himself. Look at this, is what I'm talking about. You already decided. I might just want to give it to the fisherman over there. That's my right. It's mine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That's his attitude is common.
It's a common. Giving
something and it's a value, they want to have an opinion about who it should go to. It's not all of them, but it's enough of them where it's like, no, I want to give that. Right. I'm not saying these other ones. Even when I got Sammy the little bike. Yeah. this and that needs a bike. I said, I bet they do. I'm that. Who come and hug me and kiss me and greet me is Sammy. So I said, even God had a favorite. He said David was after his heart.
Right.
I like who I like. I don't have to be phony and pretend like I like people I don't like.
Right. Yes,
or that I don't know them. Like some of it is not even liking. It's like, I don't know you to get.
Somebody confront me. What you know about a cell phone. When I come back, bring them a cell phone. I don't even know that person.
Woman didn't offer you a cup of water. She didn't offer you a napkin to wipe your brow. She didn't give you a piece of a plantain chip. Nothing. They wanted the whole cell phone.
On the whole cell phone.
I'd have got her one too, a play fool. I'd have got her one from Toys R Us.
So I just brushed it off and kept on moving. Yeah.
No, she didn't. She said, "What you gonna give me?"
I loved it. I did.
I loved it. She looked at. She said, "I don't have anything." She said, "You said I ain't got nothing."
I did say that. What you gonna give me?
What you gonna give me? If I need a cell phone, what do I get?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I loved it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, Dr. Wanda, I don't think we're done with the interview yet.
Well, time for when I return. The goal is to come back no later than September.
Yeah.
Again, if I had a trusted team to break down everything at home, I would hand that over, but I don't want people deciding to steal things or this is junk or I don't want
to it.
Yeah, and I have a generous heart. Like I stay in overflow, in abundance with things because my hand stays open.
That's true. You got a lot of the overflow.
There is a real science to how the universe works with God, and you can't get anything with your fist balled up. It just don't happen. So, and then I do think there's a time when it's time to release, where you love this table and you love it, and I've literally been places where I've had on earrings or a hat, and somebody loved it way more than me, and I said, you know what? I'll go to put my little alcohol on the disinfectant. I say, you know what? They need to go with they relative. You way more in love with it than I am.
Yeah.
You know, peace be with you. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. But people don't understand it because they don't know the concept. They don't know the feeling of it. And as quickly as I've done that, I put my eyes on something and I say, well, hot damn, I want that. Yeah. It's a new replacement. It's a newness. Yeah.
But doctor.
Yes.
You have done something that a very, 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 very few people have done.
What is that?
Took your daughter out of school in America and put her in school here in Africa. And she was in school the reception that she received.
Dignitaries.
At those schools. 3 different schools she was a part of.
Yeah.
And she went to. All right? Can you talk about that? And then can you introduce your daughter?
One thing I'll tell you is, as being an academic specialist and traveling to these different countries, and sometimes I've taught, sometimes I've counseled, I've always given resources, is that I've been impressed with business in that profession in their bad seeds. But for the most part, given the lack of resource, you know, some of it is even just the facility itself, some of it's, content, some of it is technology. I'm amazed at a lot of what they produce out of the students. And I said, well, they back down to the basics of reading, writing. Everything should not be fun in school. Like some of it can't be fun. For example, it's not necessarily fun memorizing the elements, the science elements. That's just a rigor you have to go through, memorizing your multiplication table. There's nothing fun about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, this is a party, let's do it again. No, you do it because when it's time to deal with money and advancing math, and if you want to be an accountant or go into the sciences, you don't struggle.
Right.
Yeah, because you can whip that math. So I was impressed. And I said, I'm not scared to put my daughter in an African school. I'm not. I figured the worst thing that would happen to her is she'd get caned. And she's a black girl from America. She about need to be caned. She's been needing that butt whoop quite a few times.
So now y'all know the definition of cane is, right?
But also, I came from the 70s when we had corporal punishment in the school. And so I survived it. I didn't die. And I'm going to tell you what it taught me. It taught me I would look at other kids get paddled, and I would say, well, since they got paddled for that, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
It taught me what not to do in order not to get paddled.
Absolutely.
But no, I've been sort of eyeing African structure is very rigorous. It lacks a lot in terms of, advanced logical things, maybe the ambiance of classrooms. Like I never see motivational charts and fun things, decorative things on the door and stuff like that. But in terms of like the strength of the student, no, there's no comparison.
Right.
Most of them that I've engaged with are highly, highly intelligent.
Absolutely.
They 2, 3, sometimes 4 languages. The mother tongue, the national tongue, English, the mother tongue, national tongue, English and French, the mother tongue, national tongue, then the local language of another tribe. Like, I'm like, these guys are amazing.
Yes, ma'am, very.
Yeah, so I wanted my daughter to experience some of that energy, where the focus is not bullying, the focus microaggression. There's not enough time to be dating in the classroom, doing drugs in the classroom, fighting the concept of fighting a teacher. The whole community will beat you down.
Hey,
like you cannot jump. Which one of these African kids gonna come home and say that they fist fought their teacher?
No.
It's just. But this is everyday American classroom. It's a complete battlefield.
Chaos.
Your kids are always getting talked about. They're always being sexualized. They're always being alienated. They don't have the right to be different. Groupthink is strong. They're never, the classrooms are not safe. And and we literally have, in the urban setting, this after school, they're getting beat up and all this stuff is happening. And these white boys go into schools and just shoot up classrooms.
Come on, that's true. Now y'all know that's true.
It's primarily white boys that do it. I mean, it's not white girls.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like no, and now they have a huge LGBTQ curriculum that they're pushing, and why that has to be taught, I have no idea. You don't have a lot of control in the school.
Right. Yeah. To me, it's like Sodom and Gomorrah nowadays. Come on now, Sodom and Gomorrah with degrees.
Yeah, they do know their stuff.
Hey,
to each his own. To those like that, hey, do your thing.
Do your thing.
But for me, I wanted her to be in school. I could have traveled with her and homeschooled her. But then I'm doing a lot of work. And then I could have traveled with her and hired someone to teach her. She could have a private tutor, like engagement. And so
And tell them how it turned out.
Well, it turned out that Gia is a highly intelligent person that doesn't always apply herself. That's in the States. But has on many occasions not wanted to go to school. Okay, she goes to school, don't go to school. She's okay about school. But here, she's almost beat the teachers to school. Okay, she loves school. Felt like the teachers cared. She felt cared about in the environment. Thus, she was able to extend herself and care about people in the environment. She started learning French. She did well for. She digressed in English, which she was doing well in. But here's the thing about education and children: when this was a language, and she survived it and felt good about it.
Yes.
So to me, it was a success. I was less worried about her grades, because it was only 4 months, and more about whether or not, at the conclusion of it, she had friends and that the adults around her wished the best for her. And those two things were definitely clear. Definitely clear. So I'll take her records back, and she will still be her average self in America, except that I'm not of the thinking that learning is limited to the classroom. It can be a very lonely environment of foods, of animals, of people and places and things. And I want my daughter to be a whole person. You can always catch up with the academics.
Right.
That's just deciding to sit down and buckle down and get into the books. But this global piece, that doesn't come all the time.
Right. Oh, it's been such a blessing. Well, Dr. Wanda, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate this interview.
You're welcome.
And I know you have more to tell, because I know you have more time and everything. You got to get ready to get on an airplane. So I'm not going to be selfish and and take up the rest of your time, because I know you have to get something great. I'm telling you all, I'm telling her in front of you all, so you all are my witnesses, how I feel about Dr. Wanda being here in Ghana. She has been my major support and backbone here in Ghana, especially going through the different things that I've been going through with, you know. She's calmed my mind straight up, okay? Provided things for me, so forth and so on. I'm not gonna go into details. But anyway, the sister has really been a sister to me, straight up, all right? And has given me some wisdom, has calmed me down from things that I wanted to do that wouldn't have been beneficial to me, you know, or anybody else. So, but she's been very, very helpful to me. And Dr. Wanda, I appreciate you. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss
Pray
you,
me
my
up
sister.
and keep meditating. I come back. Don't miss me. She coming back.
Coming
Count
back.
down them days.
She's coming back.
Count down them
She's
days.
coming back.
Yeah.
She's coming
Yeah.
back.
So you know what I say to you is sisterhood is sacred.
Yes.
It's not. You know, love is a verb, so it's action. Yeah, and people often use love as a noun, which is an adjective. It just describes. And so you know, I'm kind of not into that one. I'm into action. There's a lot of stuff that you can express how you love people. So yeah, sister.
And so
sisterhood is sacred.
she's leaving me in the
It's
hands
sacred.
of good people.
Good people.
I'm in a safe spot, secure spot, and people that she has surrounded me with are caring, loving, kind, and patient people. And I really appreciate that. Matter of fact, where I'm today, she provided this for me. Absolutely, you know. And I feel at home.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. And I'm very grateful and I'm thankful.
Until we meet again. September. That's the month. Pray me up. Facebook or YouTube.
YouTube.
Pray me up.
Well, you're gonna be on Facebook too, and on WhatsApp, because it's going on those, not right now, but when I post it. Okay, let's see what the comments are saying here. I'm pulling you guys closer. Thanks for good. Hold up. I didn't see the other word. Okay, come on now. My screen is still frozen. And then some.
Does she need a bifocal too?
Yeah, I need some glasses, y'all. Y'all, sorry. Y'all know I wear glasses when I'm reading the comments. Okay, so you all, Dr. Wanda is going to step out of the screen, and so am I. I got to go get my glasses. And then while she do some other things, I'm going to read the comment and try to answer. And I got to read the comments. All right, y'all. So pull you closer to me so I can read the comments. Read your questions. Y'all just bear with me. Oh, come on. Is this thing gonna come up? Hold up. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Is it rolling? It's rolling? Sorry about that, you all. Thank you all so much for attending to my live. I appreciate it. So the first one was, okay. Someone said, hi, much love. You know, I don't want to say y'all names because I don't want to mess it up. Let's see, Aaron. And they say, hi, much love. And Adrena, she says, hey, family. Hope all is well. Thank you, Adrena. She'll be here on the 20th. She's coming to Ghana.
What country, what state is she coming from?
Adrena, if you're still on here live, can you please tell us what state you're coming from? To Ghana. She'll be here. I think you say you'll be here March 20th. I'm moving this conversation. Oh, she says she's loving the conversation. Adrena said that. Alternative medicine, healthy lifestyle. Alternative medicine and healthy lifestyle. We just talked about the health fair.
Hello.
And let's see. Hey, Auntie.
I'm over at the
Thank
house.
you, New Black Ghana. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.
What house would
Malcolm
I be at,
Richardson.
baby? Over at the house, Paul's house.
Oh, I'm sorry that it was too low. So that means that the
Walk over to the house.
this
and get the
device was
keys.
too far away from us where you couldn't hear. Papa. Okay.
You got your sister?
This thing is still frozen.
What you got? That's it? Yeah.
Hey, teacher. How are you?
Fine.
That's good. I'm trying to get I'm on live. Yeah, interviewing doctor, and the thing here is frozen, but it's still, the counter is still going, so that means they can still hear us, but can't see the picture. So I don't know what I should do. Restart it or what? Close it out? Shut it down? Okay. Let's see YouTube. Recording.
The shop right with them. Sometimes it takes hours for you to close.
Oh, the whole thing is frozen.
That's the only route.
What?
Sometimes you can
Oh, I'm back. I'm back, you guys. All right. Thank you, brother.
That is so.
Unboxing, unwrapping the gift. Oh, hey, I remember that.
He drew me.
Who did?
Martin Luther.
Your son. And that's the picture that was on one of
That's
the
one of my thumbnails.
one of your thumbnails. Yes, I remember. Hey,
I love it.
Nimron. Oh, let me show you. Can you show my people? You see that? Wait.
You said, Mommy, I'm going to go.
How old is he?
My,
Your boy.
oh, 13 years.
Oh.
This is Dr. Wanda. Luther drew it.
Eric. Okay. And this one of the
Hawa.
ladies at your school.
This is
also called-
Howard's son drew this picture of Dr. Wanda. Yeah.
I love that picture.
This is nice,
I wish he
beautiful.
would give it to you yourself. But
Nice.
Too
he
shy.
didn't make it. No, he's at school now.
He's at school.
He wanted to do it.
Well, you all, welcome to my life.
Yeah, that's my thumbnail. This is the picture he drew.
Yes.
Okay, see the picture right here that he drew, you guys.
Yeah, he did good.
Of Dr. Wanda.
I want to see it.
Let's see. So that's one of her thumbnails.
Okay.
So he drew this picture.
That is so sweet.
He drew this picture off the picture I just showed you.
Well, when you sushi, only pencil and eraser.
Yeah.
Yeah, only pencil.
Me too.
So it's a pencil drawing.
Yes.
Yeah. Aquaba, welcome you all.
That is so beautiful.
Welcome back to my life.
What, in the U.S.?
And you remember it too.
When you're done, you
Yes.
come, you talk to
That's
me.
what
It's gonna be right here in my room, and I'm gonna remember it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
So I can show them.
This is one of Gia's teachers. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Joseph.
Mm-hmm. And what teacher?
ICT teacher.
The what teacher?
Here.
The what?
Homework buddy.
He's our homework buddy.
Homework buddy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so what he's like a tutor. Well, that's what the homework buddy is, a
Yeah.
tutor. Now, we were at your school yesterday.
Yes.
That's what you wanted?
And then,
Yeah, but
so
it's
what do
not-
you do at the school?
Okay, I teach the subject ICT.
So he teach ICT. Can you explain to them what ICT is?
Yeah, ICT is information and communication technology. That has to do with the tech we use in our daily lives. Mobile phone, the computer, the laptop, how to go about it, and how to use certain applications on it. So that's what I do basically. I teach students how to type, how to use the computer in general, and how to master it as well.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you, Joseph.
Yeah,
Appreciate that. All right. Yeah. He's a good teacher.
Mama,
Pick
I
this
got
up.
this one for you.
Did you?
And this
Gia.
one for Gia.
Joseph, you've been spoiling me. Stop.
Just to appreciate you.
Wow.
No, this
So
Gia.
sweet.
This year, right? Okay.
Because of your name on it, I can
Okay,
tell.
so that's
Wow.
This
I
is
was
what
going to
Joseph
buy
bought
one yesterday.
for G.
That's
Beautiful.
Yeah.
with the local name, Ghana name, and your name.
Because I'm a
Wow.
Friday
The two of
boy.
you have.
Hmm.
Let's
Thank
see.
you, Joseph. Give me a hug.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes.
You are so
Yeah.
Hello.
That's their going away gift, going back to America, you guys.
We coming back. 5 months.
They be back. Sister, she's in here about to cook up some food for me. All right, thank you so much, Elizabeth. I appreciate you. Elizabeth, in the kitchen finna get down. Get down, get down. Let's go back out here on the back.
No, I have to put it in smaller bottles.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Dr. Wanda, Gia when they leave. But they left me with in good hands. Yeah. Hey, brother Isaac.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. That's Dr. Wanda's husband right there. Yeah. Let me ask you, how do you feel about your wife leaving? Now, first of all, you finish that.
Okay.
Then I'll get you. So we're going out here to the back. I like being out here, you guys, because of the wind, the ocean breeze. It feels so good. Waves coming in. Oh, shucks. Let me get to it. Okay, now I'm back. Because I was too far away from my modem. That's the reason why. Let me take my modem with me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Which means you can't.
This is
have
the
files
modem
that are larger
right
than
here
3
for the Wi-Fi.
They must fit single into a single 1-quart bag.
Yeah.
So this would have to go in a bag.
So I gotta take this with me out here so I won't lose connection like I did before. Let me see if y'all can see the ocean from here. The ocean waves throughout from this window across the way. They look like little islands. They have half islands out here, you guys, on this end. This is a window, a door window, so big. Yeah. Okay, you all. I'm gonna end this live. I just wanted to do the interview with Dr. Wanda. So thank you all for tuning
Anything over
in.
140 proof is prohibited.
And I'll talk to you
This
all
over
later.
140 proof, ain't it?
Okay?
This ain't tough.
Stay tuned for the next live, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And may you all be blessed. Bye. Africa to the world. Straight up.